Welcome to Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
We're going to be talking about last week's Buffalo Bill Tampa Bay Buccaneer game. It was a 33-27 victory in overtime by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, our team. And it was a tremendous game. It was a tale of two halves. First half dominated by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 24-3. A touchdown by Leonard Fournette, a caught pass by Mike Evans in the end zone, and a run by Tom Brady, quarterback sneak, and a field goal, making it 24-3 at halftime. A complete romp that was going on there in Raymond James Stadium Sunday against the Buffalo Bills. But then there was halftime. And in the second half, the Buffalo Bills returned, and this time they came back. They played hard and held the Bucks to only 3 points in the second half, making it 27-27 by the time regulation was over. But the Buffalo Bills fought back hard against our team. Josh Allen led the way with a tremendous game from the quarterback position of the Buffalo Bills. Tremendous athlete. Josh Allen from the University of Wyoming, great player, ran that ball over 120 yards on the Buccaneers in the second half. Congratulations to our Buccaneers for winning that game. It was a necessary victory at home as we prepare to go against the New Orleans Saints Sunday night in a Sunday night matchup that will be a playoff game. Many people say the playoff atmosphere in this game. Well, this one will have the playoffs atmosphere. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will look for the first time in 13 years to win the NFC South title. They haven't won it. They haven't won it since they won the Super Bowl, because they went into the Super Bowl as a wild card. New Orleans Saints was the champions of the division last year. And they'll be coming to town this year, Sunday night. And we will have an opportunity to win that division, so it will be playoff atmosphere. It'll be a tough game. There won't be any love lost between these two teams. There never will be. New Orleans Saints was the first team the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ever defeated. After losing 2 years every game, the first game they recorded as a franchise in regulation was a victory against the New Orleans Saints. And the love has not gotten any better over the years. Morris Lattimore and Mike Evans feuding with hands and fists, and you'll see it again this Sunday night when Evans and Lattimore line up against each other. No love lost between these two teams. They've got an excellent coach with New Orleans with Sean Payton, one of the greatest coaches in football. Very unsung as a great coach, but a great coach and a great tactician, and one that can change in a course of a game. Much like we've seen Sunday with Sean McDermott changing the Buffalo Bills at halftime from the team that was behind 24-3 to the team that almost won the game. It was a tied game at end of regulation. Great coaches can make change quickly and can change the outcome of the game. So Sean Payton will be a formidable coach to meet the New Orleans Saints, a formidable team to play, no matter their record. It will be a barnyard brawl out there Sunday night, and it'll be on national TV. It'll be a standalone game. Tom Brady loves those games. We love it because we're going to win the South Sunday night. We're going to win that division, and we will hopefully win that game. It'll be a tough game. We can't take anything for granted. All things must go our way, and we must predict that we should have a good offensive and defensive showing both. Our secondary, again, is banged up, as we know. It has been banged up. Jamel Dean was banged up in this game against the Buffalo Bills. Carlton Davis played excellent this week. He held Stephon Diggs, their number one receiver, to less than 40 yards. An excellent game by him. He played excellent for just only being back 2 or 3 games now, Carlton Davis. Sean Murphy-Bunning's got that elbow brace on. He's still injured. He's still nicked. We've got Winfield playing good back there in the safety position. And so we should be in good shape. Jordan Whitehead back there at safety. He can hit you. But we have some people off the bench if we need it. We have Andrews. We have Peter DeSeer. We had Richard Sherman out there this week. He looked terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, he looked terrible. Richard Sherman looked terrible. We paid him $4 million. He's a Buck. We got to love him. But he came for a ring because he just isn't the same player he was when he was the Seahawks or the 49ers. He just isn't the same player. I seen the tackle go right past him, and he stood there and stepped to the left and let the guy go. So, he just has not played up to par. I don't think he's up to health. but he can be on the sidelines as a supporter of the defensive backs. And we've got to get a good pass rush on Sunday night, and we shall try. We've got a good front. Pierre Paul's still nicked. Sue's there. We got Vita Vea. We got Nelson. We got others we can bring in. We got Joe Tryon, our #1 draft pick. We'll bring him in if he's going to be in a lot of our plays. David Levante's good, and so is all of our secondary, other than Murphy Bunting with that nick and Jamel Dean. We don't know if Jamel Dean will play. We know that Gianardi Bernard, our running back, Gianardi Bernard, had been injured and put on the injured reserve list, so he'll be out for at least 8 weeks with a torn meniscus. And he was a good little featured third down back and a good pass catcher. He's caught a few touchdowns for us this year, as you all know. So he's out, and he'll be out. But we still have, we had Bashard Perriman catch that touchdown pass. That was a wonderful pass in the overtime, 50-yard plus pass from Brady to Bernard Perriman to win that game. And Bernard Perriman was brought in about a month ago, as you know. He played with us a couple of years ago. But he was brought in about a month ago because of Antonio Brown's injury and now his suspension. So he did a great thing by his first touchdown catch, winning the game. So that was how the game went. We got the big game against the New Orleans Saints Sunday night. We're going to have to be prepared to go to battle against this team. We're going to have to be prepared every game to go to battle, but we're really going to have to be prepared Sunday night. Last year, as you know, Drew Brees retired after we defeated the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans to go on to beat the Packers and go back home to win the first Super Bowl ever by a home team. So, this is a big start to me to a playoff run with this. If we can, which we will defeat them. I feel we're going to beat them. I feel good about it, but I want to go in there with the idea that New Orleans is a formidable team. And Sean Payton is a formidable coach. One of the greatest underrated coaches in all the NFL is Sean Payton, coach of the New Orleans Saints. They'll be ready. They're coming to town, and they know us as well as we know them. There's no love lost between us two. Mike Evans, our star receiver, and their star defensive back, Maurice Lattimore. You'll hear that name because you've heard it many years of Evans and Lattimore. So this week will be no different. There'll be some physical contact, could be some altercations, could be some punches thrown. They don't like each other, okay? No one on the New Orleans Saints have a love lost for the Bucks, including their quarterback, Jameis Winston, who's on the IR, but will be on the sidelines. But he'll be in Tampa, and it'll be different from being in the Dome in New Orleans. So this is a critical game. No major injuries that I know of except for Gianardi Bernard. Scotty Miller's been practicing this week. Jamel Dean, he's nicked. He gets hurt during the game. We have to bring somebody else out there to play. We're really thin in that secondary. That secondary is thin, okay? It's terrible. And if you don't put a pass rush on the quarterback, they're going to tear you apart in that secondary of the Tampa Bay Bucks. Carlton Davis can hold one. Dean ain't going to do it. Sean Murphy Bunting's nicked. Winfield and your Whitehead, the safeties, are going to be back there as safeties. You don't want them to have to play cornerback or double up with their cornerback and leave open for any kind of play that could happen. So we are dinged in that secondary deeply, even though Carlton Davis has shown great improvement in the few weeks he's been back. We need some help in that secondary. I know that we had Richard Sherman play last week, and anybody that watched Sports Talk with the Cowboy, I'm just going to say it to you because we're going to keep it real here with Sports Talk with the Cowboy. Richard Sherman played like crap. Okay, he's a Buck, but the man couldn't even get into his gap to stop a runner. He just stepped aside, So it's terrible. I don't know. He just doesn't look like he doesn't belong. He's here for a ring. Let's be realistic. He got on this team for a ring. He wanted to ride into it and get him another Super Bowl ring. He just has not played up to his potential. We paid him $4 million a year. He's not played up to his potential, and he's not ready now. So, and when he had the opportunity the other day to shine, he stepped aside, and that was terrible. So we're going to keep it real here, and I hope Richard Sherman stays on the bench and gives them a lot of advice, because that's where he needs to be, telling the younger players that want to get out there and play to get a chance. So we do have Pierre Desser, and we have some other players. So this is a big week this week against New Orleans. We have two questions tonight on our show. One from Robert in Avon Park, and he asked, who is the two star players on both offense and defense that you believe the team needs to go to the Super Bowl this year? Offense is real easy. Tom Brady. Number two, Ron Gronkowski. Robert, those two are the engines of the offense, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, because they can play pitch and catch and score touchdowns for you. So they are the real strength of that offense, in my opinion, not excluding the offensive line, because everybody's going to say, Cowboy, the offensive line, what about the offense? Offensive line is excellent. Robert asked the question, what two players? So this is the two players, okay, for me. Not against the offensive line or the great receiving core we have with the receivers, but those are the two on the offense. And on the defense, Whitehead, our safety, and Jason Pierre-Paul, because of his overall engine of that defense that can get those players playing. They play better when Jason Pierre-Paul's on that field. They play better, even though he's banged, even though he's winged, even though he's without fingers. God bless him. He's still the engine. They play for him. They play with him, and I see a lot of camaraderie with him, and he's very necessary. And Whitehead is a hitter, and he's from Pittsburgh. He's got an uncle that we probably all remember named Darrell Revis. Yes, that's our safety Whitehead's uncle. And the second question tonight is from Judy concerning the Miami Dolphins. Judy from Lake Placid, Florida. And the question is, what is the future of the Miami Dolphins look like? Judy, it's a mixed bag down in Miami with Brian Flores and Tua Tagovailoa, and I've murdered his name, I know. A lot of people is going to say, hey, you murdered his last name. Listen, I've always murdered it. Okay, you have to. So anyhow, he has been the quarterback through the remaining of this season. He's been injured a lot. He was injured last year a lot. He's injured now a lot. He was injured in college a lot. He's got an injury issue. Whether he can stay healthy or not, I don't know that I would put my franchise's future on him because of his injury record. He has played good when he's played for what he's got as a team around him with the Dolphins. They're in a rebuild mode. They were 10-6 last year. They could have been better than that this year. They have caught fire and won some games in a row. So the Miami Dolphins are starting to try to play, but they need consistency play at quarterback. We've said it before here with Sports Talk with the Cowboy, that 70% of your team's attitude and winning percentage will come from a good quarterback or a bad one. As bad as it is, it's the truth. So thank you, Judy, for your question about the Miami Dolphins. They're going to be all right if Brian Flores stays. We don't know if he's going to be fired. There's going to be a lot of coaches fired at the end of this year. But that's another show and a bunch of other questions. So, yes, the Dolphins will be all right once they get that quarterback situation figured out. He's a good quarterback if he can stay healthy, but he just can't stay healthy. So, thank you for your question, Judy. And if you'd like to ask Sports Talk on the Cowboy a question, just put in the comments your question, and we will select it, and we'll be glad to put it on air on our show. God bless you, Cowboy out.